Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to Ballchat podcast. My name is Benton, along with the family. Cameron is away. Junior is just like a two of us man in the ship. Cameron is on vacation. Junior, how you doing, family?
Well, I'm here now. I'm here. I'm good. Good. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Big up to all the football fans. Wherever you are globally, big up to yourself. Welcome to Ballchat podcast, where we review some of the week's major news in the world of football. And I always want to give a shout out to all the subscribers week in, week out. Thank you for joining us. Big up to the subscribers. It's a live and interactive show. If you're first time joining Ball Chat, we're going to discuss some of the week's major news in the world of football live. Send on your comments. If you have questions, send them on. We'll discuss them. On the topic for today, we have Reggae Boys versus TNT. We'll discuss the friendly game that took place yesterday at St. Catherine's Sports Complex in Mobile. Big up Mobile. Big up Mobile, my side of country. That. We'll discuss Reggae Boys versus TNT. We'll discuss EPL action as Liverpool schizophrenic season continue. Beat aside last week, get them belly drop this week. Big up yourself, Liverpool. We'll discuss Antonio Conte's week of statements. What a brother talking. Big up to Antonio Conte and what's going on at Spurs. We'll take a look at Champions League football. Recap the week that was in Champions League. Preview Champions League games coming up. We'll discuss Jamaican football at the back end of the show. And of course, we're going to touch the big news. Big up to Whisper Richards, pre-contract to Chelsea. We'll discuss at some point in the show. But we're kicking off with Ballers and Bugs. If you have Ballers, send them on. Bugs, send them on. Ballers, impressive players of the week. Bugs, unimpressive. Junior, Ballers of the week, family. Who you have?
You know, this is that.
Well on, Junior, is St. Catherine Hall or Catherine Hall? Sorry, not St. Catherine. St. Catherine is a parish. Catherine Hall is a sports complex. Thank you, Marlon Gillette. My apologies. St. Catherine is a parish. It's not where the game was held. The game was held in Mobile at the Catherine Hall Sports Complex. Big up, Marlon. Continue on with your Ballers of the week, family. Junior.
Well, you know, this might be too early. But I think Graham Potter and Chelsea deserve some early recognition, right? Because every week we come home, we come on Ball Chat, which is home for football fans. So we come home to Ball Chat and we beat Chelsea every week, right? But when them turn it around, I seem to turn it around, and it's not a one game. But looking at the Champions League game and then looking at the weekend tie, I seem to think that they might be righting the ship a little bit. It might be a little bit too little bit early, but I forget Chelsea ball of the week. But I'll give to Arsenal for just being consistent. I mean, whatever. But I don't care about the Europa tie, to be honest with you. Premier League title is their number one priority. Them go to after them draw in the midweek and then come back 4 days later, or 3 days later and get a big win. So I have to give to Arsenal. I'm going to give it to Manchester United in a tie, in a draw game. As a Manchester United fan, I'm going to step out of the Ball Chat hat and step into a Manchester United fan. Casemiro got a red card today, and somehow Manchester United did not play hold back football. Them never parked the bus. Them still attack. That is encouraging. That shows me that Man U is going in the right direction. So Chelsea, Man U, who was we give to? Arsenal. Me not give to Whisper. We so talk about Whisper. And more I give Craig Butler a ball of the week, but I'll talk about Craig Butler later. Big up Bullhead.
Big up Bullhead. Football family, if you have Ballers and Bugs, send them on. Ballers been the impressive players of the week. Bugs been the unimpressive players of the week. Send them on. We're in the Ballers and Bugs segment of Ball Chat. Send in. My Ballers of the week, family. 2 ballers I want to highlight. I want to highlight first and foremost Bunny Shaw, Khadija Bunny Shaw. Impressive goal scoring run continues Another impressive outing for Bonishaw. Scored 2 goals today for Man City. Man City sits second, are tied on points in the Women's Super League. Tied on points with Manchester United just behind Chelsea. So they're keeping their title hopes alive. So big up to Bonishaw as she becomes the single season record goal scorer for Man City with 26 goals, passing the magnificent or the wonderful Nikita Paris. So big up to Khadija Bonishaw. You get a ball of the week. Another splendid outing for Bonishaw. Scored the winner in the 89th minute. And I want to give a ball of the week to Caleb Wiley. Atlanta United owns Caleb Wiley. Youth grown around the corner. Big up around the corner. We're based in Atlanta, so we don't know watch these young players coming through the ranks. So big up to Caleb Wiley. Contributed to 3 goals yesterday in the MLS encounter against Charlotte. Joined special company. Only Alphonso Davis and Bobby Convey has done it in the MLS in a single half. Contributed 3 goals, scored 2, and scored and assisted on the next. So big up to Caleb Wiley. Scored 2 goals, 18 years, 79 days. Young player doing big things in the MLS, and we continue to watch a homegrown product right around the corner. So big up Caleb Wiley. Those are my ballers of the week. And you don't know why I big up Craig Butler when we get there, but bugs of the week, family. What do you have?
Sir, bugs of the week are people for all the new listeners, because we can see the numbers. I get some good numbers. Remember, people, hit the like. It doesn't cost anything to just subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button and make we know, say you're watching and you love the show. And take part, ballers and bugs. We're now giving the bugs of the week. My bugs of the week is some administrators. Now, there is a little known news out there about a bribery case from former Fox executives that were convicted. I'm finding the name. I want to make sure I find the names properly. But Hernan Lopez and Carlos Martinez issued millions of dollars in bribes and obtained inside information to secure the broadcast rights for the World Cup. And the Brooklyn jury finally prosecuted them in 2018 for 2018 and 2022 bribery cases, right? Now, just imagine how much people out there trying to bribe to issue bribes for broadcasting rights. There's a lot of corruption happening in football, and we're happy that them take a little tip off of the iceberg, right? And speaking of corruption, speaking of iceberg and tip, they clean that side of Barcelona. Listen to me. Barcelona president and this bribery, this little buyout referee thing. Listen, I don't know. And Benton is your side. You have to go explain to the people what the hell is going on at the Catalan club. It seems like some serious gangster business are going on. And guess what? This is a precursor, because the Super League is going to happen. We know that. The Super League is going to happen. Every idiot side will go into the Super League for partner up with this little gambling, this little gangster side in Barcelona. We know some Barcelona win every Super League Cup for the first 3 or 4. Because them don't buy out the referee, them don't buy out the field, them don't buy out everything. I don't know what the hell is going on in the Catalan club. And Liverpool, I said it last week, want to give us 7 love and this one bag of talking people all text me last week, big up Bonnie. My brother named Bonnie. Actually, my cousin-in-law, Bonnie. We live in Atlanta. Benton, you know Bonnie. What would they go to the football 3 years ago, the local tournament? That's Bonnie's organization. Me not talk to Bonnie, and Bonnie is a Liverpool fan. I don't talk to Bonnie for years. And last week, Bonnie texts me out of nowhere. Yo, Virgin, everything all right? I look at them now. I can't find the Liverpool fans them now. Where are you? If you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. Tiki.
You should text him this week. But big up. Junior, I want to give you a shout out. It's not deliberate. It's not deliberate why I ignore the Barca news. We will discuss the Barca news. At the setup of the show, in our pre-planning meeting, it's on the card. It's not deliberate. we will discuss the allegations regarding Football Club Barcelona because this is some serious allegations. Fun and joke aside, serious things. So we'll definitely discuss. And as BM says, those are the views of Junior and not Ballchat regarding Football Club Barcelona. I mean,
they can't do nothing.
there is some serious.
But we don't have any referees refereeing Ballchat, so we can't get a red card. Move up.
Serious allegations. All right, let's get to our football roundup and start today's show with, if you have ballers and bugs family, send them on. We'll go ahead and read them. Well, let's start with the big news that took place yesterday. Before we get into actual on-the-field play, let's discuss whispers pre-contract to Chelsea. Craig Butler announced on IG. Kyle Butler also tweeted it. Junior, wow. Very, very proud. Congrats to Whisper. Congrats to the whole Phoenix All-Star Academy. But your thoughts on this deal, family, and the imminent move of Whisper to Chelsea. At 18, he will roll to Chelsea in November when he turns 18. Your thoughts, Junior?
No, it is a momentous moment for the Jamaican youth, right? And look, Craig Butler has taken part on the show, and we have cracked jokes with him personally on the show, and we talk about all the things that surround him, but we don't get into the pasa, right? We never get into the pasa of Craig Butler and what's going on. But we have to give him respect for his persistence in growing these footballers. Now, the naysayers are the people that try to hold him in balance will say, well, what about the other players, them and blah, blah, blah. He's not responsible for the talent that these players acquire through genetics. He's responsible for, one, developing it at a stage in life, and two, giving them the opportunity to pursue their career in the next level. And it don't necessarily mean football. Now, every once in a while, if you are able to grow talent and show that you can move somebody from point A to point B, it doesn't mean every time you have a Leon Bailey, but every time you might have a player that can control with him left foot this week, and then next week him can turn the ball with him left foot and make a 50-yard pass on the button, right? And if you show you can develop a player like that, every once in a generation, a whisper will come in. Or you'll be introduced to a whisper, and then you get an opportunity to help this young man. I don't know the backstory. I don't know if he's the only one, but he's on the forefront, right? And if it's one thing we can say about Craig Butler is he did say Whisper was the next, right? And he did say it early. And Whisper went ahead and proved it at the high school level. Me sit down on this show and say, well, him obviously better than the high school ball. Then can he putting it to the next level? The thing I love about this contract is he's now going to go into the academy. The pre-contract is that he now has an opportunity to go into an academy, right? And whatever is in the past is the past. Now he can now go in there and grow. Now it is on the young man himself and what his aspirations are, what his ceiling is, and go in there and grow. And it's one thing we can say on behalf of fans, football fans, we really hope that he understands that the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. And go into that room, Whisper, and grow. I will look forward to your brother. It don't matter where you play. Come on, is a Chelsea fan, you know. And let us talk the truth. Marshall can't stay on the field. So, Craig, just send him come up on you, man.
This is why Chelsea signed a pre-contract. This is why. And big up to Damone Priestley who outlined as an agent in the space. Big up who outlined some of the terms and some of the regular things around pre-contracts. Damone said that, of course, a pre-contract is usually signed to lock up the player before he or she turns 18 years old, and also getting such a guarantee that keep others' hands off, other clubs' hands off. Whisper did a trial at Newcastle, and so we're big up to the Newcastle family. We've had Newcastle people and Newcastle supporters on the show, so they were very much looking forward to Whisper joining up with them. But subsequently, Joe Shields, co-director of football player development of Chelsea, and Craig Butler was able to make a deal. Fabrizio Romano, big up to Fab, who's the oracle of transfer, said that, according to the reports, according to his inside info, this deal is worth somewhere less than $1 million. But at the end of the day, right now, it's just development. That's the important thing, is development and growth. Whisper will turn 18 later on this year. Then he will formally provided nothing change, he will then sign a formal contract with Chelsea Football Club. Now, Junior, this is in line, provided nothing change. This is in line with the landscape of things at Chelsea and the new ownership, right? They've signed quite a few young players. I've always said that, I thought that Whisper should go to some club that can foster his development. I was a big proponent of Ajax or one of those very good developmental clubs, but it seems like Chelsea is getting into the developmental business, so we wish the young man all the best. Really excited, looking forward for his next step, next growth, because it's definitely in line with what is going on at Chelsea Football Club now. They're lining up, according to Fabrizio Romano, lined up another young player out of Ecuador, getting ready to sign him, and they've signed quite a few young talents. So big ups to the youth and to the World Phoenix Academy All-Star. And this is also good for Phoenix Academy and All-Star Academy, because it shows that you can not only sign players to other big clubs, but you can develop them, because now, rather than send them somewhere at 10 or 12 or 14, you can subsequently develop them. And that's more money in your pocket, because no man else now cut out of getting on the cake. You have to get the developmental money, and then you sign them onto these contracts, move them on to these bigger clubs. So big ups. 31 goals last year for the local idiot side, KC. And I don't want no KC man come say nothing to me. I don't like KC. Don't like KC. So Sean, I'll look at KC man and stay wide of me. But 31 goals, 19 assists last year. Big up yourself, youth. And we'll talk about his debut for the Reggae Boys later on. But he was, I can say he dominated his peers. And Cameron said that multiple times. We have said it multiple times. He dominated his peers. And so, no to the next step. And
I know what's the beauty about it too? He is a real high school footballer that dominated his peers. And I don't want that comment fly over people's head. He is a real off-age high school footballer. He's not 19, that 18, and that, trust me, that 17 to 18 age difference is big. 16 to 17 is big. 17 to 18 is big. 18 to 19 is big. So for him to do this is one thing it should show is a lot of young footballers in Jamaica. It can happen. Yes. You can achieve. So this should motivate a lot of young footballers right now. And our football is better off fight. Because right now, it should be obvious there is a scout in the Caribbean that is watching the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Not only for Jamaica, for the whole Caribbean.
Yes.
There is a scout out there watching for you. So if you're a young footballer, use Whisper as your new inspiration. Baby Gardner was our one.
Yeah.
Right? So you had Baby Gardner for the couple generations back. Now you have Whisper. Let's get the next Whisper out there. Let's create that pipeline. Let's build the infrastructure. This is what is needed. so that we can have a good football system.
Yeah, man, exactly. And more youth eat foods, them can elevate themselves and them family and and you know, because ultimately it's ball game, but it's the business of football. And sometimes we talk about ball game and watch the game, but ultimately these are players who have a skill, have a trade, have a marketable skill, and so subsequently there are players, there are clubs that will play top dollars for these talents. So big up again to the family, big up to his family, Richie Royal, big up to his mother, big up to his dad, and everyone who support him, you know, and carry him, his coach, KC coach, big up to him also. Craig Butler posted on Instagram, history has been made. The Phoenix All-Stars Football Academy is proud to announce, this was yesterday, and it's a long statement. He says, well, right now, he's grateful to Chelsea Football Club and look forward to continue the relationship. On a personal note, Chelsea was my boyhood dream club, and I'm so pleased to have one of my players built in the furnace of the Phoenix and at Stamford Bridge. So it's a proud moment all around for the entire Phoenix All-Star Academy family and the entire Butler family, Kyle Butler, Casey Butler, and the entire group, you know. Big up to them.
I see BM said that's why it's important to develop a proper professional league in Jamaica for the youngsters to develop. Yes. 100%.
Yep. All right, so we're going to watch the space, guys. We'll talk about Whisper later on in its debut when we get to TNT versus the Reggae Boys. Or do we want to discuss the game right now and just get to our EPL roundup? All right, continue our Jamaican football discussion, because we don't have no yard ballers today. And we'll get to EPL and Champions League at the back end of the show. 1-0 Junior. Trinidad and Tobago won the game. 1-0. I mean, basically, things that stood out for me. It was abundantly clear that Angus Eve and his Trinidadian outfit are together more. They've been playing more together. He's been training his players. They're well prepared. The passes, were more crisp. It was good to see some uncapped Jamaican players, many uncapped players getting vital minutes on the grass. I was looking forward to see Fitzroy, Cousins, and all them youth that play. Ravel look a bit rusty, but it's understandable so. He's not playing football regularly. He needs a squad. He needs a team. He needs a club team. So, and hopefully him and his representative can carve out something. In fact, he even got play ball for Mullines in the Premier League or Mount Pleasant or somebody. Go play some ball. Currently he's with DC United to my understanding, but just not in the DC United playing setup. And Whisper got on the grass, and the thing that stood out for me with Whisper was that the strength of a young youth, against grown men, it was impressive. To be so strong to hold off grown men, I was pleasantly surprised. I know he dominated young schoolers, but it's a step up when you're playing with men. And I thought his physical presence, probably on another day he would have scored a goal or two, but his physical presence was quite evident. And that's always something that you always look forward to with kids going from youth age when they're playing with grown men. So those are the things that I thought.
For me, Heimar Hallgrimsson.
Hallgrimsson. Yes, the head coach.
This is your very first game, right? Very first official real game.
Yeah.
And you saw semblance of what we would like to look like, right? But I really can't judge any player. I can't judge a system. I am just happy that we get to play a game before it really, really counted, right?
Yeah.
World Cup is coming up. We'll have a return leg. What I want to see next now is improvement. So, let's say, DBM said TNT should never come to Jamaica and beat us. That's a no-no. Why BM in the grand scheme of things, though? The grand scheme of things. All right. Trinidad should not come to Jamaica and beat us in a game that counts. Or in a game that matters. Right? in my opinion. I share that opinion. But Trinidad with Angus Eve is right now is at a higher level than Jamaica is right now. They are with the current set of players. Because we need to remember that this isn't the best 11 that we can put out there. Him just try to build up a squad and build up a side and see if he can find some gems. And we can implement a system. So if I was a TNT fan, I would come back now and say, boy, new coach, bug side, we should have give them more than one, right? In all aspects and all actuality, because if all ends are even, if the coach get for implementing system and build him side, will the game be different? Will the game on this week Tuesday be any different? I expect it to be different. I expect to see growth. I expect the players sit down, watch the tape, see where all right, this is whatever system we're trying to implement, and how does it transfer to the field? We already know what we're going to play against. Let's see something different.
Yeah, and Angus Eve and TNT, big up Angus Eve, big up to all the family, the Soca Warriors listening to us down in Trinidad. I don't know, we have a few listeners down there as well. They're also a part of the process. It's just that they're further along, like you said earlier on. You know, he's been in charge for a while. He also is looking at players. So this is good for both teams. Good thing for both teams. Valuable minutes for players that you want to start saying who you have, who you can rely on, who you want to know that, you know, this is something for the future. I thought Omari Hutchinson is a different player from when I saw him in the Catalonia.
Yes,
Catalonia friendly. It's a different player. He has improved immensely. So big up to Omari Hutchinson. I thought that there were times that Omari probably should have passed the ball on, but I mean, again, you haven't played a lot, you haven't practiced a lot. These are things that over time with coaching and minutes together should get resolved. You know, Omari on the right wing, he wants to beat players. He has improved immensely. Big up Tennessee Lewis. Tennessee Lewis said, I think the coach looking at players, so people need to understand, I don't even think more than 3 players from the squad will make the Nation League team. And I agree. He's looking at players. He definitely spoke about that. He's definitely looking at players. He definitely spoke about getting players into the fold for not just now, but for the future, you know. And some of those uncapped players, valuable minutes. And so he did say in the post-match presser that the players who didn't get time on the grass the first game, those players will definitely get time on the grass in the second game. So you need minutes on the grass. You need time.
And that, you know what? That's the key to me, you know, because we're looking forward. We're not going to throw dirt behind us, right? But there have been times in the past when Jamaica bring together an unfamiliar squad of players. And you have some players who get called up to the squad that a lot of people out there have been clamoring to see get called up, and them not play in them not feature in any of the 2 games. And then we are left to sit down and say, well, maybe them not practice good or whatever. What happened? Why you call them up and not give them minutes for the field, right? So that is good. What that also showed me is that the coach is confident and comfortable in his position where, okay, we'll lose with a business. We'll have bigger fish to fry. So, all right, we'll lose to Trinidad 1-0, but I'll get fired tomorrow. So I just want to see what we have. So Tuesday, bring back a whole different set of players. We will sit down and watch, analyze the game with them and say, all right, let's see where this player can fit in the grand scheme of things.
Tennessee Lewis says Hutchinson will take the 10 from Ravel. It might have. No, I mean, he's a live wire. You know, I always big up my baller out from the left coast as a live wire. Big up baller. But Omari Hutchinson is a live wire. And you can see the potential. As I said, Junior, you remember we watched him for the Catalonia friendly and we said, why, well, I can't. But it's a night and day player. And he was playing right back. Setup. So him and Whisper now may even connect in the whole Chelsea system setup. So you were saying, Junior.
And he was playing right back at the time. So
yes. Yeah.
But hold on. You have to about him a whisper, but they have something for help them get along too. What name? Sterling. Remember Sterling did it too?
Raheem. So there's enough Jamaican players definitely. And big up to my brethren too. He's a part of the whole setup. I don't know if he's still part of the coaching staff there.
Altiman?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So big up Altiman, but we're sure, everybody know Altiman Butler's affiliation with Chelsea.
Yeah, man.
Sure, he's a happy man right now.
Yeah, man.
Proud.
Man, they always, you know. BM says, I don't mind the coach looking at players, just don't turn into Tapa 2.0, where right before World Cup qualifies, you're still looking at players. This is true.
Agree.
This is true. And, all right, so overall, you know, minutes on the grass, looking forward to Tuesday. Tuesday, the boys play again, March 14, TNT, and at 7 p.m. inside the National Stadium. Big up to Military Guna. Check out Military Guna TV and check out Ryan LFC at Elite Sports TV because when you're there, Military Guna giving us live feed. Big up yourself, you, because we really love the work you do. Big up. All right, Junior, let's get to our EPL roundup and get to some ball game because we don't know what you want. Discuss Liverpool and what transpired with Liverpool this weekend. All right, this weekend's action in the EPL family, the shock result was just Liverpool lost to Bournemouth. Huge victory for Bournemouth. Gary O'Neill's outfit. Your thoughts, family, on the weekend that was in the EPL?
All right, but let me just remind everybody that's watching right now, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I remember, even when we were growing up, I say you can't give and take back. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button real quick, please. We'll just give it 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Subscribe button is right there on the bottom right over there. So hit the subscribe button real quick. Done this.
Junior, these might be Liverpool fans, brother.
I know, but I wanted to hit the subscribe button because I'll tell you what Liverpool come in like. Liverpool come in like a married man where you touch a road 1 week and you meet one atty and you go drink some NEC and some tonic and some backed up and deal with that works. And you come back next week again and you just go back to square one. You're just flat.
Yeah, those are the views. Those are the views that Junior Pringle and that ball chatting out because we don't really
but a serious note on Benton.
Yeah.
How do you explain it? Like if you are a Liverpool fan, how do you sit there and explain beating the brake shoes off of your rival 7-0 and you come back the next week and lay an egg like that? How do you and it's not it would be one thing if you were safe in your position. If you were in the top 4 or in the top 3 and there's no chance of you winning the Premier League, right? But there's no chance of you dropping out the top 4. How do you explain your chase for top 4, beating the brake shoes off one of your main rivals that is high up in the table, and you come back and lose to a team with their goalie? How do you explain that to your fans?
I think, and I will try to see if I can do an explanation for Liverpool. Not a Liverpool fan. But Klopp, Klopp was quiet yesterday. He wasn't as talkative in the press conference. He went down into some details. I didn't remember some of the things that he was saying. But on the back of last week's victory, this statement that he made still stood out to me. He said we had the performance and we have the scores today. This is something that we need to keep going for the remainder of the season. It all came together last week. And I thought it was surprising after you just kick up a side, aka you dismiss a team. You were just quite apprehensive in saying that this should continue for the rest of the season. And I think it's indicative of what's been going on with Liverpool the entire season. You have some games where Liverpool look like a beat and teach team. excellent. And then you have some games you wonder, say, yo, brother, Liverpool's a real bug side. Mohamed Salah missed a penalty. And I don't even know what, I guess he probably slipped. I don't exactly know what happened. But, Junior, the goalkeeper for Bournemouth, I think it's Neto in goal for Bournemouth. He dove to the left. The right side is wide open. Wide open. And Mohamed Salah kicked the ball about 10 meters wide of the post. So this is how things were bad of Liverpool. So, and 10 meters is an exaggeration. But this is how, because Neto committed, he had the goal balling out to put the ball in the net. And he missed it. So, Liverpool will play Real Madrid in Champions League this week, and I don't expect them to overturn that tie, but I expect a stellar performance from Liverpool this week based on what has been happening throughout the season. The team is schizophrenic.
Yeah,
And that's the explanation.
You know, my explanation is Klopp has lost the locker room. My explanation is the joy that that big up Geraldo.
They have lost the locker room and then beat aside 7 last week.
Yeah, no, that is the telltale sign. The telltale sign of a coach losing the locker room is when the side beat a team dismantle a team that they were supposed to be competitive against and lose against a team that they should not lose against. That to me is, all right, Manchester United, if them play, no, Liverpool is playing Manchester United this week, then playing Bournemouth the week after, and they're playing Real Madrid midweek after that, right?
Yeah.
If I am Klopp, I only have to coach one game. I only have to coach a Bournemouth game. If I have to get my players ready to play against Manchester United, something is wrong. If I have to get my players ready to play against Real Madrid, something is wrong. But if I cannot get my players ready to play against Bournemouth, something is wrong. I don't need to tell Trent Arnold that week, yo, you have Marcus Rashford to deal with. No, he's been hearing about it every day on the news. But Bournemouth, when you hear from everybody say, he's the side this, nobody up on the side for Warrior, you're supposed to beat that. Yo, Salah, you break the record this week, go out there, add to the record. Yeah, Bournemouth are easy at side, you're supposed to score 2 goals. This is where a coach come in and humble the side and say, no, let's take them serious. And normally a coach that has the locker room, the players will say, yes, coach, and go out there focused and play football. I have not seen that from Liverpool. That's your schizophrenia. A player is naturally schizophrenic. It's natural. It's normal. A player will enter a game. He is schizophrenic. A player will play his best game against the best players and play his worst game against the worst players.
It depends.
No.
Depends. I disagree with you.
It's a very general statement, yes. But generally, a player will get up ready to play against a competent opponent, and he need some motivation to play against a lesser opponent.
They drop it.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what a coach get paid the big bucks for.
To have his troops ready. But
have his troops ready, and Klopp is not doing it. He has lost the locker room.
No, I don't think Klopp lost. Big up to Geraldo. Geraldo here says United will need to hold on to a Champions League spot.
I'm on that.
No, and the reason why I said I don't think Klopp has lost the locker room. I just think that the players that you have, and this is why they said that change must be coming to Liverpool. Yeah, granted, I understand the point that you're making about you shouldn't have to drop your game for Bournemouth after just a magnificent game against Manchester United. You don't need any motivation for that game, right? But I also think that sometimes the heart is willing, or the body is willing, and the body is weak, or whatever that's saying. The heart is willing and the body is weak. And what I mean by that is that Liverpool players, some of them, they are just they cannot get 2-3 games very good out of them consistently. And I will pick up Virgil van Dijk, for example. Virgil van Dijk should get the bug of the week. There was a time when Virgil van Dijk could stood up and tackle a player and say, "You shall not pass." This game against Bournemouth, in fact, the goal that was scored, I think it was Abango or whatever. I cannot remember the player name for Bournemouth. Went at Virgil, walked past Virgil. Virgil van Dijk said, "You know, Robertson, you can go and run with him because I tired." And then the player pulled back the ball across the goal and Billing score. So what does that tell me? That tells me like Virgil van Dijk just cannot continue at that high level that we expected him to be back in the day. And so that's what I saw with Liverpool players, is that they will give you a very good game, but then if they continue at this high level or good level in the next game, is just their bodies, for whatever reason, cannot. But Ballchat, the midfielder, a young kid, I mean, he was all over the place, and I expected that of a young kid. But then you have to look to a Jordan Henderson to come in and say, "Brother, come give us something," and you rather save him for Real Madrid. And I think that is more what's going on with Liverpool. The depth is lacking, the surgical depth is lacking, and the players that they won things with, they can't continue 2-3 games of playing at that high level.
All right. I mean, sure. That's very. I can't disagree with you. That's very possible. It's very possible. But if that is the case, how do we explain Everton and their turnaround? Because they have turned it around. How do we explain Everton turning it around? It's the same players. The coach come in, and that's the difference, right? Liverpool players have not changed from the season started. We know what they have. Liverpool knows what they have. Their coaching staff knows what they have. The coaching staff know better than anybody what they have at their disposal and how they need to approach games, right? So we agree with you. And maybe both of our opinions could be right. Maybe both of our opinions could be wrong.
Yeah. Maybe there's a mixture of both going on.
A mixture of both. But I am more putting this at the feet of Jurgen Klopp, because if it walk like a duck and quack like a duck, but I will tell you it's a cow. It's a duck.
No, I was just. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I can't sit down now and say, well, we know Henderson will give you one game, we know this one will give you one game, and tomorrow, if that is the case, then me as a coach, how can I trust my players?
Well,
if me as a coach, why do I even coach them?
You just have to go with what you have, because this is the cards you're dealt for the rest of the season. You know. Because Junior, that goal, when you watch that goal again, it's on the right side of the left side of the box, of the 18-yard box. You watch the goal. Right. Virgil van Dijk standing up to Obango, and Obango said, "Move, boy, may I beat you," and walk around him. And then Robertson is running on the right side to try to, and Virgil just stopped on the play. And normally that is not customary for Virgil van Dijk to just give up on the player. Yeah, I'm sure you're watching the video now. And then, so Robertson is on the right side. Obango, I think that's a player name, pulled the ball across the goal, and Billing just tapped in it. And Virgil is just like, then threw up his hands in the air like, Jesus, them scored. I'm like, you think they're going to score because you stop on the player? So, it might be a mixture of both. God go with Liverpool, because there will be moments like this again for the season.
But hear this though, because this is what I pulled up real quick.
Yeah.
Liverpool's transfers in. I'm just going to go with the top three.
Yeah.
Darwin Núñez, center forward, 80 million.
Yeah.
Cody Gakpo, left winger, 42 million.
Yeah.
Right? That's $102 million spent on two players for them to transfer in. Their departures, right? So remember now, you just highlighted Virgil van Dijk and highlighted that he's breaking down. Basically, he's getting old.
Yeah, man. We're getting
Right?
old, man.
All right. So Liverpool's departures. We also say Andy Robertson, right?
Yeah.
We also talked about Trent Arnold being a weak link. Liverpool's departure. We all know Sadio Mane left for Bayern Munich for 32 million. Nico Williams, right back, Nottingham Forest, 20 million. Takumi Minamino, one of the biggest busts ever, went to Monaco, 15. Marco Gorgic went to Porto. Ben Davis, a centre-back, left. I went to Rangers. Reece Williams left.
We are going to go through the entire Liverpool.
No, but what I'm showing you though is our options that Klopp decided to let walk out and bring in 2 players for 120 million that I can argue was not needed.
Fair enough. We have to give Bournemouth credit because, to be fair, Bournemouth was stout defensively. Liverpool did try score, and it's probably one of those situations where if they scored early, then things would have said wide, things would have different. But Bournemouth was quite resolute defensively. Neto made some good saves. Maybe Gapco should have had a goal. Maybe Nunes should have had a goal. Mohamed Salah should have definitely scored a PK. But it is what it is. It's Liverpool.
It's a karma, but it's just the way that the season is going. Is like what did we expect to happen?
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate for them.
Other results from this weekend's EPL action: Arsenal defeated Fulham 3-0. Man United 0-0 with Southampton. West Ham 1-1 with Aston Villa. Newcastle finally won a game, defeated Wolves 2-1. Newcastle was on an undefeated how many draws, how many ties did Newcastle? It's quite a bag of tie. Of course, Everton defeated Brentford 1-0. Leeds 2-2 with Brighton. Leicester City lost to Chelsea. Chelsea defeated Leicester City 3-1. Spurs defeated Nottingham Forest 3-1. Crystal Palace lost to Man City 1-0. You said you give Chelsea a ball of the week. This is good. Good run you expecting now, Junior?
Possibly. And you know Chelsea. I'm going to say this right now. Chelsea can slip, trip, fall, and win Champions League this year. It sounds funny,
well, they're still in it.
It's not only that they're still in it, you know. Is if they go on a run, this is the time when you want to go on a run in a Champions League race when this could be full motivation for your new transfers.
Yeah.
Watch the space.
What a man will be happy, Mr. Potter, if that does happen.
Watch the space. Remember, I'm telling you, watch the space. And that game against Everton, the next game is against Everton. That is going to be a big game.
EPL table, Arsenal sitting on top still, 66 points. Man City in second, 5 points behind. And Southampton still continues to just hold up around our bottom family.
You know what I feel sorry for? Ward-Prowse. Yo, is it a free kick the man take today? Hey, Booba. I think he's probably the best dead ball kicker in the world.
If he isn't, he's right up there.
I can't think of somebody who is even in his class, to be honest.
Yeah, he's definitely right up there. I mean, yeah, I'm not convinced that they will get relegated, but it don't look good. It doesn't look good. Gabriel Jesus made his return, a long-awaited return from injury for Arsenal. Arsenal, Junior, there are 11 games to go in this thing. Can Arsenal fans start for the champagne and ice now and just say, yo, let's get ready?
Liverpool is definitely making it interesting. I mean, not Liverpool, Man City. Man City definitely keeping it interesting, right?
Yeah.
That's is a fear factor of Pep is what's stopping them from keeping the eye. Because the way that they are playing and with the championship moments that they have had, so many championship moments over the last couple of months after from the World Cup, end of the World Cup till now, how many moments did they have where we say that is a Premier League championship winning moment?
Yeah.
But that fear factor of Pep Guardiola is real for the Arsenal fans. For man like Geraldo was a champion select, but I'm afraid to say it. But to start getting the ice bath ready.
Yeah, man. And of course, big up to the entire Arsenal family. Junior, before we move from EPL and English football, Spurs sitting still in the top 4. Spurs had an interesting week with the one Mr. Conte and of course and his baller Richarlison. They were eliminated from the Champions League. Just to give an overview of what happened, they were eliminated from the Champions League. At the post-match presser, Richarlison speaking to TNT, Brazil TNT, he questioned some of the decision-making, family. He questioned some of the decision-making. Let me get the exact quote here. He said, quote, "I am honest. This season has been S. I want to play. I don't understand. I was in a positive moment and Conte put me on the bench. Yesterday he tested me in the starting 11 and then bench again," end quote. This was after they lost to AC Milan in the Champions League. Conte came out at the presser and said, I watched Richarlison's interview. He didn't criticize me. He said my season is S, and he's right. When you speak of I and not us, you're being selfish. It was a mistake. He apologized. Conte said a lot of things at this press conference. He said that you can take a team to teach a team how to win, but he cannot do it alone. They have to follow. Junior, Regin, what is going on? Your assessment of this week by Mr. Antonio Conte and Richarlison and Spurs, and does this impact Spurs at all in the top 4 race?
Does it impact Spurs? No. I question though, you see, we love football, right? But not because somebody play football or not because somebody coach football at a high level. It doesn't necessarily mean that them probably love football, right? The reason why I say that is, Richarlison, you had a choice when you were at Everton, right? I'm pretty sure Barcelona came knocking. Pretty sure.
Okay.
Hold on, Benton. Hold on. We're pretty sure Barcelona came knocking. I'm pretty sure other teams came knocking. If I was Richarlison, I would sit down and look at Tottenham's team. Harry Kane, Young Min Son, and my boy, when them Lucas Leiva, when them hardly play, right?
Who?
Lucas, not Luca. What name?
Lucas Moura.
So they hardly play.
Kulusevski.
Right. And my boy, they bring in the Croatian youth.
Which I
left winger, where they play for Juventus or Inter last year.
Perisic. I even forgot he's a Spurs player.
Right. So if we sat down on this show and questioned where is Richarlison going to play, you really think we're going to sit down and move Harry Kane from the number 9 position, Richarlison? Seriously.
No, but
do you really think you were going to sit down and move Young Min Son from the start? Where did you really expect to play for Tottenham?
So
we have a question. What was he told?
So why
What
sign
were you
these
told
players
in the
then?
preseason?
Why sign them? I mean, Antonio Conte is making a lot of talk about. He says, "quote I can teach you the path to win, but you have to follow." End quote. He signed these players. I get it. Sometimes transfers doesn't work, but too many of you spoke about Klopp earlier about transfers not working or earlier in the season, but he signed players, Junior. And I put $5. Big up to the gambler around the corner. I put $5 on Tottenham winning something. Something. A plastic trophy, League Cup, FA Cup, something. But with this serial winner, how is it possible that they did not win anything, Junior? How is that possible?
What the name of them big head centre back again? What name?
Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer. When Eric Dyer started playing football, what position did Eric Dyer play?
Wasn't he a midfielder?
He was a midfielder, and he transitioned to centre back, and they had not replaced Eric Dyer since.
But they've signed Bissouma from Brighton. They also have Højbjerg, who has been outstanding for them. At the base of that midfield. How does Bissouma, who was outstanding at Brighton, now go to a place at Spurs where he's totally lost? He's not seen any minutes on the field. So I'd light a fire on Antonio Conte now, because Antonio Conte is talking about, I can teach you the path to win, but you have to follow. But what type of path is this, brother? You got the players and you didn't win anything.
What him said, I can teach you the path to win. Him know the path to win, but the players won't. All right, fine. We'll light a fire upon Antonio Conte. Are we going to also light a fire on Jose Mourinho? Are we going to light a fire?
Yes.
When are we going to hold these players accountable? It's obvious.
Right. I will probably give Jose Mourinho and Pat a little less leeway, because I think, and I could be wrong, just going off numbers in my head, I think Antonio Conte has gotten the most aggressive has done the most transfer business for Spurs in the last 5 years out of any of those managers. He has gotten players in. Daniel Levy he didn't give you 15 players like Chelsea signing a bag of players. But he gave Antonio Conte players. He got Perisic, he went and got Kulusevski, he got Bissouma, he got Cristiano Romero. Who else? He got Richarlison. And then this brother come tell me about him a path to win.
All right. But hear this, real quick. And there's a parallel here. Regardless of how many players were, but ask a simple question. Eric Dyer, why is he not replaced? You spend all this money, how will you replace Eric Dyer? Harry Kane, who every year for the last probably 4 or 5 years have been flirting with the exit door. And that could be the reason why Richarlison signed, because Conte expected Harry Kane for the road. It's possible. But Harry Kane, you should have run the Harry Kane a long time. The parallel is this, and we can talk now as a proud Manchester United fan. When we had the merry-go-round of coaches, and we played coach's hot seat, the fridge was irreplaceable. Pogba was running the locker room. Ronaldo did not lead half of the side. When we get a sensible coach who come in and sit down with ownership and say, listen, me, you don't know football like me. You're going to shut the hell up and make me coach football. Ronaldo do road. Pogba do road. The fridge plug out and tie up, and then our basement right now. And look at the side now. I guarantee you that 11, if you were to poll the Tottenham players and say, give me your best starting 11, Eric Dyer is not in that starting 11. And I'm willing to bet Harry Kane will be in 50% of the starting 11. You're going to have some people who will prefer Richarlison over Harry Kane. What we are seeing is a fractured locker room. Mr. Levy need to shut up and stay out of football matters. That's all Conte is asking. It is obvious.
Conte need to shut up and win football games.
No.
By the way, don't shut up. Don't shut up, Conte, because those press conferences are very entertaining. But at the end of the day, Junior, I am just simply saying this. I am simply saying, and I know depth matters.
Right.
I'm not asking Antonio Conte to win the EPL. I'm not asking him to win the Champions League. I am simply asking him, or asked him, to win one. You have League Cup, you have FA Cup, one of those trophies. You don't need to win the Premier League. You've gotten Perisic, Bentancur, Romero, Kulusevski. You've got Richarlison. You have Keane and Son. I mean, the fan base, the Spurs fan base need something. Last time Spurs won a trophy was in the 90s, I think. I mean, come on. And so Antonio Conte now coming forward is trying to absolve himself of some of his responsibilities. Talking about, I can teach you the path to win, but you have to follow. Conte, you are also part of the problem. He has to take some of the responsibilities here because he has failed. He has failed.
I think
and his failure is that he did not win a single trophy. He will say to me,
I think fail is a strong word, though.
He's gotten players and he didn't win a single thing. Go on a yard, Antonio Conte.
I think failed is too strong of a word.
Too strong a word.
I think there's more to what's going on at Tottenham than what meets the eye.
Okay, fair enough.
I think there's a lot going on behind closed doors.
The man, his health has deteriorated. He's having surgery. He has these bags under his. I mean, just Antonio Conte. Good luck to your family. Good luck.
But God are the days of Mr. Gary Lineker, Gascoigne. No, Gascoigne is with Tottenham, right?
I think so. I don't even remember.
Yeah, Gaza. But Lineker, God, man. Them days are gone.
Gone. Junior, we're pushing up against the clock, but we want to touch some other things this week. And I don't know, come on there, so we don't have to rush. But Champions League results. We're going to get ready for Champions League coming up this week. Club Brugge got rubber stamp. Chelsea defeated Borussia Dortmund. Those teams have booked their place.
Like I said they would.
Eh?
Like I said they would.
I mean, granted, Benfica beat the brakes off Club Brugge. I mean, Tuesday's results was somewhat expected, right? Over to Wednesday's Champions League results now, and this is where things kind of took a turn. The games this week in the Champions League were in the group. Let's start off with this particular team. PSG lost to Bayern 3-0 on aggregate. An utter failure. In fact, PSG should have gotten the bug of the week, if we didn't give them the.
Why?
Junior, you don't have these high transfers. You don't do this sort of business. Messi, Mbappe, Neymar. I know Neymar didn't play this time. You have 50% of the salaries tied up in these three players at the player of the wage book. You have Marco Verratti, who was highlighted as the greatest thing since sliced bread a few years ago in that midfield. And you lose to what is considered an average Bayern Munich team at best. When you look at Bayern Munich teams, Junior, this Bayern Munich team is average when it comes to the real Bayern Munich teams. You didn't even score one goal, brother. So PSG should get about Achraf Hakimi is being investigated for sexual abuse, sexual allegation or sexual harassment. The director of player, the president, the CEO or whosoever is running the club, he's also being investigated for some crimes against women or whatever. So what exactly is going on at this club?
A beer girl is at the club. What could I help it? It's better. You just give me an alley-oop. I have to dunk it.
This is not a football club, brother. This
but
Nasir Al-Khelafi is under investigation, and Junior, you mentioned this a few weeks ago. He's under investigation for some serious charges. You have Ashraf Hakimi, who's under investigation for more serious charges. And then you have Mbappe, Messi, Neymar, and Marco Verratti, Sergio Ramos, Donnarumma. And this team is just a bug side.
Yo, when Sergio Ramos left Real Madrid, were there any tears of sorrow that we're losing a key piece? No.
Yeah, there were tears from Ramos.
There were tears from Ramos and there were tears from Barcelona fans as well, but not from Real Madrid fans or from the Real Madrid brass. So when he is now starting against Bayern Munich, what more you expect? Like, look, when Kylian Mbappe publicly said, I don't want to play for this team anymore. Me don't want to play for this team. And Mr. Macron, the French president, had to get involved. You had everybody bend over backwards for this player. And then now you go up against a juggernaut in Bayern Munich. What more you expect to happen?
Junior, you signed the GOAT in Messi.
Benton.
And Junior, you signed the GOAT in Messi to win a Champions League. Now get eliminated in the round of 16, brother.
Listen, when Messi go home, first of all, which number Messi wear at PSG?
Doesn't matter, Junior, if he wears number 30 or number 10.
He wears number 30, right? When Messi drive home, why? When Messi drive into the facility at PSG and I'm looking at Mbappe face and see this day, and I'm not there, but I know this is happening. When him walk in the facility, I feel how the temperature in the place is a little bit cold than what him used to. And him go home and then look at him wall and see all the number 10 jerseys where I look and see him wear number 30. And him say, wait, I'm find the World Cup trophy over there, sir. And him say, me have how much Champions League over here, sir? And you want me worry about Champions League? Yes, sir. Brother, I don't go out there, man. I go and eat my liquor. What they call the pastry, the Italian pastry. Can't be back right now. Macron or whatever. I eat my macaroni and I use myself, yeah, man. There's nothing there at PSG other than just a name brand side for say there is motivation here for us to win. When Argentina played in the World Cup, your GOAT went there with the intention to win the World Cup. Messi sit on a PSG right now and I say, yo, them little mother things about covering up myself for them little fool, yeah? You must some mad. When me win Champions League for this year, would I go kick me out of next man move up here, man?
Such a professional. Such a professional. Nasir Al-Khelaïfi implicated in kidnapping and torture investigation. I that one doesn't sit well with me. I don't know what's going on there with torture and then Ashraf Hakimi has been charged or is on an investigation for rape. So, all right, Junior, Kylian Mbappe, he was quite disappointing. Both him and his group, Messi, all of them in this game against Bayern. There was no competitiveness. Is this the end of it for him at this club, or is it too early?
I think Mbappe
presser, he said, we will focus on the French league. Like, you have anything else to focus on?
All right, look now.
Like, really?
Yeah, but then who is under financial fair play investigation? Man City, right? And we don't hear the outcome of that yet, right?
Yeah, so Man City, the outcome is ongoing with the EPL. Yeah.
So you think anybody going to come and risk any financial fair play investigation for go try to get Mbappe? You think PSG is going to give up Mbappe without that team have to break financial fair play rules?
I mean,
he's stuck. He is stuck.
The dance with him and Real Madrid is interesting. We'll see what happens.
No. He
You don't
is
think that's
stuck.
going to resurrect?
No, he is stuck.
Okay.
The money that will be required to pry Kylian Mbappe from PSG, you have to break FIFA fair play rules to do it.
No,
We're talking.
all Real Madrid has to do is just get rid of that guy over there that's not doing anything, which they will in the offseason, that former Chelsea player that will remain nameless. And that's a huge salary off their books.
Is that the salary?
Huge salary off their books.
If that the salary is a problem, it's a fee.
Yeah, but
You can't. No, it's not a but, Benton.
you can make, according to the experts, there's a way to work these deals without it. According to the experts.
No, all right. So people, this is the problem, and hopefully we can reach out to somebody that really understand the money football aspect. In my opinion, these experts come up with these fancy ways to create a transfer, right? I have them create a transfer today. The problem is, in 2 years, when that fancy way becomes illegal, them come back and say, hey, wait a minute, you broke the rules here. Because guess what? That fancy way of creating this transfer is still ongoing because it takes years to come off the book. So you are probably, it's just like doping in sports. So hopefully we can get a money football expert to come talk about it.
No, so an important thing, is that, and so there are many factors that it will influence this thing, But you're right about money football expert or the economics of this business. So right. Mbappe's deal with PSG was until 2025, goes until 2025. All right, so 2023 is about to wrap up. They're going into the summer of 2023. So then you go into a 2024. If PSG it's all about what's happening with this PSG project. Do they want to continue shell a lot of money in Mbappe, who hope next year to go lose in Champions League again? This is unsustainable football. What probably might happen with PSG is that now they pivot and said, let's go the actual sensible way and rely on young developmental players. Which that means if they decide to go, and according to Jules Lauren, PSG, ESPN FC expert and PSG fan, this might be something that they're looking to do, because if they decide to go that way, then Kylian Mbappe's wage and salary is not something that you want to carry on your books when you're pivoting away from running on Champions League title. Because really,
I disagree.
It's a hurry come up thing them try if you don't forget Champions League, and it didn't work. Now if you're going to say we're going to go the other way and go to young players, you cannot have this bread on the books with such a huge salary.
But Benton, Kylian Mbappe is a young player.
No, but, well, what I mean is that.
No, but I get what you mean.
Yeah,
wage-wise.
No,
I get what you mean. But if Kylian Mbappe is PSG, he is not a player for PSG. Yeah. He is Paris Saint-Germain. If you get rid of Kylian Mbappe, you are now running the risk of becoming, I don't know. Give me one French side that used to be.
Monaco. Kylian Mbappe.
Monaco. Team. No, but what Leon? No, Leon I think is a more apt.
Or Marseille.
Or Olympique Marseille.
Yeah.
But Leon, I think Leon is more, because Leon is a team that always had a good side, and then they move on from the players and they have to rebrand themselves, right?
Yeah.
PSG in today's world, if you shed the players, you run the risk of becoming Leon tomorrow. You run the risk of becoming Olympique Marseille. That is something them cannot live with. So I agree with you. Shed the players them. You don't need Sergio Ramos. You never need Donnarumma. You don't need Messi. If you can build a side, all right, why can't they do at PSG what Dortmund does around Marco Reus? Marco Reus, even though he's often injured, he's a player that is never up for transfer discussion. He is Borussia Dortmund.
Kylian Mbappe wants to do that. Kylian Mbappe says he wants to be Ballon d'Or winner. Is Marco Reus going to win Ballon d'Or at Dortmund if they decide to do that with PSG?
I think if he had a better injury record, Borussia Dortmund with the factory of players that they had at one point or another would have won Bundesliga if he was if he stayed healthy.
Kylian Mbappe don't have time for waste with them foolishness project.
He might already win a World Cup. Maybe he might have time for waste.
No, because he's won a World Cup Junior, but has he won a Champions League?
Who cares about a Champions League? The man with a World Cup.
But Junior, this is a player who's regarded as the next biggest thing, in this business, How is he?
But how long did Messi? Well, Messi a bad example.
Yeah.
How long did Ronaldo? No, bad example.
The man that win already. The man that won something already. And he has to leave this team. Because remember, he was a part of a golden team at Monaco. You remember that big side of Monaco when he was just still a wet behind the ears kid? The man, a big man now, man. The only issue I see here with him going to Real Madrid is he willing to apologize and make amends. Because he left Real Madrid fans and Real Madrid brass ticked off Junior.
No.
Junior, they thought they had a deal with him based on the reports, and then he pivoted. You think the fans, you just are going to run into big bag Real Madrid and say, oh, next, just give me a new contract. No, you don't just do that.
Benton.
Yes.
If Kylian Mbappe today goes on Instagram Live and say, Real Madrid fans, I will come to Real Madrid if you guys change the name of the road for go to the stadium to Mbappe Way. No one Real Madrid say, oh, change the name of the stadium. We're ready. This is killy what talk about in the Benton.
We know it's killy. We know say he's a baller. We know say he's a general. But as Damon, big up to Damon, because I'm saying Damon too many times in the show. Damon told me something and told us something a while ago. Talent is, you can't find talent. And Real Madrid have this youth already on their books. Endrick coming through. Signed up for next 2 years to ready. The hottest thing coming out of world football right now out of Brazil. The 16-year-old kid or 17-year-old kid out of Brazil. So Kylian Mbappe now might forward and say, yo, we are come roll some ball. But you have the next generation of ballers, them who are run forward. And we disagree, but we just have to go watch the space.
Watch the space.
I agree that Kylian is powerful in this business. But time waits for no man.
For the next 3 years, he's powerful.
Because you have the youth out of Brazil who's coming behind him.
We have no idea what Damon said is true. We don't
know if this youth
developed talent.
We don't know if
developed talent.
But we can only go based on what we see.
True.
In front of us. And he's been, 16 years old. The fact that Real Madrid already signed him to a pre-contract means that, we don't know how that go. Junior, we want to touch this Barcelona thing. Because we are going on the conversation a long time and we haven't. Before we get to the Barcelona thing, Champions League.
You are going on the conversation again.
Champions League games are coming up this week. Just to remind listeners, teams that are in the last 8 for the Champions League. Benfica, Bayern, Chelsea, and AC Milan. Big up to the Rossinier. Big up to the entire Rossinier family. Champions League games that are coming up this week, family. You have Liverpool versus Real Madrid. How you see this one, family? That's really the kind of game, the real marquee game that many of us are looking forward to.
Common sense, Real Madrid going to beat the brakes off Liverpool, but I think this is Klopp's last stand. I think he makes a tie out of it. I don't expect them to overturn the tie, but I expect them to at least make Real Madrid a little bit nervous. I am going to say Liverpool is going to win the game, but lose the tie.
And I expect a much more impressive showing from Liverpool. It's going to be a competitive game. They're going to Madrid. Madrid's going to win this game. The old fox, Carlo, the man that know about game in and out. Inter Milan, Junior. Inter Milan and Lukaku.
What you want me to tell you about Inter Milan and Lukaku?
I mean, your prediction of Inter Milan's game, brother. Against Porto. 1-0 Inter is leading.
I think this is more about I don't know what to expect for Inter Milan.
Leipzig versus Man City.
Yeah, that's a better question. Man City will beat the brakes off of RB Leipzig.
RB Leipzig. So you know, expect Timo Werner and the entire Leipzig family to be competitive, Junior.
It could be like you just want to play devil's advocate the whole day, even.
Yeah.
Man City going to beat the brakes off of RB Leipzig.
And Napoli versus Frankfurt. Of course, Napoli is a big side. And ball of the week to Napoli is Kvaratskhelia. It's hard to pronounce this youth name, but ball of the week. He scored a fantastic goal against Atlanta. So ball of the week to him. And that's a player that, who knows, Real Madrid might be interested in. Because apparently his rep or his dad says something about he's always been a fan of Real Madrid. Well, everybody's a fan of Real Madrid from them.
Here we go with the tampering.
Here we go again. All right, so Junior, we want to go my yard, but we want to touch this thing first before we go my yard.
It's all of you. It's all of you. I'm listening.
Football Club Barcelona was accused. The prosecutor in Barcelona, the city of Barcelona, this week outlined a case against Football Club Barcelona. Allegations stemming from the fact that Barcelona paid referees organization, a referees company a large sum of money, and that is fishy at best. Junior, Masque on more than a club. Your thoughts on these allegations, family? It's just serious.
It's stupidity. I think it's more stupidity than stealing or cheating. I think it's more of a thing of stupidity. I cannot say. We can't see them doing that. I can't see them having a need to do that. This opens so many Pandora boxes. It's not funny, because if it is proven that Barcelona did in fact pay this referee company with the intent to get favorable calls, then they are not the only team that is doing this. They are not the only team. This is going to open up a lot of issues. It's going to open up a lot of problems in world football, if that is the case. So I am going to say, I am hoping that it's just stupidity and poor decision. I don't know, innocent until proven guilty. But also something that is stupid right now. Maybe them was giving money to a foundation, and the foundation is owned by the referee.
No, it's not a foundation. It's not a foundation. It's not a foundation thing. Barcelona did not deny these allegations of hiring an external consultant. They said, quote, they hired an external consultant to supply staffers with video reports on youth players from around Spain, in addition to technical reports on professional refereeing, which is common practice in football. So basically what they're saying is that they hired this organization to kind of give them insight how to deal with the ref, etc. Junior, but why the vice president of the referees association? Aren't there, the prosecutors could say, why aren't there other referees organization or companies available to make this deal with? Why this individual whose company, who is the vice president of La Liga Referees Association?
That's what it's very nefarious. It looks bad, right? But you see, until the facts and even the facts that come out might not be the truth. It might just be things that can be proven, right? Which it just leaves so many ambiguity in this. We can talk the what if game, right? Or we can go the factual route. This is such a serious allegation that I want to go the factual route. I don't want to go the what if route.
Yeah, I mean, so the facts that we know of are presented by the Barcelona prosecutor's office. So this is the Barcelona prosecutor's office in the city where the team is located now. The Barcelona prosecutor office said Barcelona Football Club Barcelona paid $1.5 million in payments over 3 years to a company owned by then leading official with the Spain's referee committee CTA, Jose Maria Enriquez Negrega, between 2016 and 2018, and he served as the vice president. So we know those facts. And the way they actually found out about this is that taxes. They were looking at the taxes of this company, and they found, so wait, what are these payments from Football Club Barcelona for? It don't look good, Junior. I don't care how many ways there will be Barcelona fans who will say many things about this, and I've been very critical of what's been happening at Barcelona recently, and some people don't agree with my criticism, but it doesn't matter how many ways you slice it, this does not look good.
Right. It's a bad look. But again, it could just be an error in judgment. It could be somebody just them head never screw on right at the time, because the thought process could be, if we are trying to gather information on future referees and talent around here, who is best to talk to? That the vice president of the current referee association, right? If that company is offering, because it's a perk, right?
Yeah.
It's a way go to the, if you are looking for this service, and you go to the website, and the website says, we offer the best information on future referees in La Liga. Why do we do that? Because our owner is the current vice president. Oh, of course we want to do that. But nobody never come back and say, well, that's kind of insider trading. It'll look away if you pay 500 million or 500 grand if over every year for the next 3 years. What are you paying for? How are you going to prove that you're getting this? How we know said this vice president now was make a call of, how we know? Nobody never think about that. I just think it's just a poor decision. I really do.
The thing that's interesting here is that and CTA, which is the organization of which the Spanish Referee Association, of which the referee was a vice president, Mr. Jose Maria was the vice president. CTA was responsible for officials and assigning officials to games. So there is where the concern is. Also, the payments were discontinued in 2018, and the reason at the point former President Jose Maria Bartomeu told Cadena Ser, which is a radio in Catalonia, the reason the payments were discontinued is to reduce costs by the club.
Right.
Javier Tebas, La Liga's current president, said Thursday that fines or other sanctions wouldn't be imposed because 5 years have passed since Barcelona made its final payment to the company in 2018. He explained that the sanctions have to be imposed within 3 years of possible irregularities under Spanish law. Tebas says La Liga will wait for the outcome of the prosecutor's office to move forward. So the important, you have a criminal matter going on right there, and you have a football matter. So the criminal matter, where the prosecutor's office is the one that presenting evidence that Barcelona did nefarious acts with this referee. This football matter president of La Liga, Javier Tebas, is saying that the time has passed to impose fines or sanction. It's pretty much, let's see what happened with this case with the prosecutor's office.
So can I play devil's advocate?
Yes, Junior.
For a second. You eloquently highlighted that it's a homegrown reporting, right?
Yes, it's a prosecutor's office in Barcelona, yeah.
Right. And we have no idea. These prosecutors, they know the law. They know the statute of limitations. They know it already passed, right? We have no idea what is the goal of this outcome. Is the goal now to say, because the obvious question a lot of people should ask is, why is the vice president of the referees association's company offering these services? Is this normal? And if it's normal, why is it a problem if Barcelona buy it? If it was Deportivo La Coruña, would we be having this discussion right now? Probably not. If it was Valencia, would we be having this discussion right now? Probably not. But because it's Barcelona, the big name side, that might be the reason why, right? So this does being devil's advocate.
Yeah. So the legal side of things, there's still because if there are corruption charges being brought against Football Club Barcelona, there's a legal avenue, to my understanding, that the prosecutor's office can explore and take on this club. Now, I don't expect that to happen because, again, it's a very big club in a home office. The prosecutors will figure out some way to work a deal. This investigation was started because of tax investigation. And
right.
We know Football Club Barcelona have had histories allegedly of aiding, our former players of Football Club Barcelona have evaded taxes in Catalonia, and some of them end up have to pay those taxes or get jail suspension. I think even the fancy baller Messi himself was also fined for that same scenario. So because of that, in some instances, the prosecutor's office is making sure that the company that's received the payment was paying taxes properly. And then in that investigation, it saw these payments from Football Club Barcelona.
That's a story that we've been sold.
We just have to watch the space, Junior. We have to watch the space, guys. This one is serious. Now, I will be the first to say if Barcelona is guilty of paying the referee to cook the games, whatever reach them should reach them. Whatever reach them, the Juventus treatment should reach them. That is what I'll go on the record and say, because that is foolishness. Long show today. Long show. And
the last long show this for a while, the next week ball game start.
Yeah, man, last long show for a while. So, big up to Whisper and the entire Whisper crew and the entire Craig Butler and Phoenix Academy crew. Big up. Congrats, youth. Champions League football this week. Real Madrid versus Liverpool, the pick of the game. Big up to the entire Napoli crew and this youth. I always looking forward to see Victor and Carlos Quera, this youth out of Napoli play ball. Junior, another week for you and you look at idiot side again.
Mad. Subscribe, people. Hit the subscribe button.
Football family, connect with us on Instagram at Ballchat Podcast. We're on Twitter at Ballchat1. We're on Facebook at Ballchat. Look more, family. Bless up for yourself.
Later.